Pawsey, you're very welcome. Hit the wee follow button if you so choose. Now, it is Sunday, which means it's time, not for that, something different this week. I thought this week we would go with
Corn of the week.
Yeah, corn of the week. And when I'm talking about corn, I'm talking about politics. Politics is what I'm talking about. Democracy. Or what passes for democracy in this part of the world. Because you see, some of you already know that I have for many elections been a conscientious non-voter. Now, I have my own reasons for this, which I feel no inclination nor intention of explaining now. Indeed, I take great pleasure in the anger this raises in some sections of our society. Some people talk like that. You just can't do that. Well, you have to cast your vote. It's a disgrace to not cast your vote. You have to. People have died, so you could cast your vote. And then you get the idea. Indeed, they argue that my refusal to cast my ballot should exclude me from making any comment about politics. Doing this and many other videos demonstrates the utter contempt I feel for this nonsensical argument. So I thought I'd have a wee look at the state of politics that I've decided to absent myself from. And this week is a good one to start because this week we've had yet another Westminster scandal involving a Tory MP. Surprise, surprise, shock, horror. Oh yeah. This all came out after the Times newspaper revealed that Mark Menzies, the MP for Fylde, had phoned a 78-year-old Conservative volunteer at 3 o'clock in the morning, asking if she could give him £5,000. Will you hear this? As he was being held captive in a flat by bad people. And it was a matter of life or death. Oh, the woman wisely refused. But he did eventually get £6,500 from another friend, which was then repaid from Conservative Party funds. Nay. That's very naughty. Now, I know that party funds have been used in the past for everything from covering duck ponds to the expenses of escorts. But to pay a ransom is definitely out of the order. It's definitely not the norm. Mr. Menzies is now being investigated by the police, which they won't have to flick back too far because Menzies has form. Oh, yeah. In the past, he was investigated by the police over a rent boy, and on a second occasion, when he was accused of having got a dog drunk. No, don't have to rewind that. I didn't misspeak there. He was investigated by the police for having got a drunk. Do you understand? A dog drunk. A canine pissed. Now, what he was going to do with an intoxicated dog, I do not want to know. But scandal is nothing new in this particular parliament. 18 MPs have lost their party whip. This means that the parties have chucked them out for crimes ranging from bullying, sexual bullying, domestic violence, and rape. A proposal is, it's on the bill. The proposal is out there of passing what's called a precautionary exclusion bill. Now, this would exclude MPs of such crimes. It's been sitting on the desk of the Leader of the Commons, Tory Penny Mordaunt, for months. She so far has refused to bring it to the House for a vote, obviously afraid she'll lose a lot of friends. This means, of course, that the House of Commons is the only workplace in the UK where someone can be accused of such serious crimes yet remain in post. Not that we can take the moral high ground on this side of the Irish Sea, considering Ian Paisley was suspended from the Commons for 7 weeks, having broken Westminster rules by not declaring an all-expenses family holiday he took to Sri Lanka in 2013. Now, obviously, there's a very, very close link between his constituency of Ballymena and Sri Lanka. Well, you can see the economic interests that would intersect there, and it's clear for anybody to see. Now, admittedly, Ian did give a grovelling and emotional apology in the Commons. What's this?
And that is why I have such remorse about the matter as I believe it goes against the grain of who I am, especially how it is portrayed.
Does every time I watch that, does get me. It gets me. I come no hanky. I get so emotional watching that. It just breaks me up. It does. Anyway. He went on to face the first ever recall vote for an MP. He survived by a whisker. But his name will forever be tarnished as having been the first MP in history to face such a sanction. Keeping it in the DUP, and not to be outdone, DUP leader, ex-leader Jeffrey Donaldson is presently in hiding, having been charged with rape. Now, coming back to this side of the Irish Sea, you know what I mean? Northern Ireland Assembly has just returned to work, having been closed due to walkouts by Sinn Féin for 3 years and the DUP for 2. Of course, during those extended holidays, our MLAs continued to be paid for work they weren't doing, proving yet again that politicians view themselves as a breed apart and above us normal plebs, where the normal rules apply for us, where if we don't work, guess what? We don't get paid. On top of scandal and walkouts, we have the glaring issue of democracy deficit. For instance, all 7 Sinn Féin MPs refused to take their seats in Westminster, whilst the leader of the DUP in the Assembly, Emma Little Pengelly, hasn't faced the inconvenience of winning an election to take on that high position. Now, things aren't much better again back over the other side of the Irish Sea in Westminster, where the last 2 Conservative Prime Ministers have avoided the British electorate completely. And Foreign Secretary David Cameron, you know the guy who bulged up and got his Brexit? Well, he was sneaked back in via the House of Lords. So there you have it, boys and girls. Of our 18 local MPs, 1 was suspended, needing a recall vote to get back in, 7 don't attend, and 1 faces a rape charge. So please, the next time you want to have a go at me for not voting, consider this. The MPs you vote for have to jump through multiple hoops to even be accepted by the parties they stand for. And some of the MLAs sitting in our assembly are co-opted, so never even bothered with that pesky election business to begin with. Oh, yeah. Oh, as Mr. Spock from Star Trek might have said, it's democracy, Jim, but not as we know it. I needed big ears for that. I should have got big ears. It'd been better with big ears. It would have been better with big ears.